Sorry. Let's move on from orientation to training. Again, continuing my cute little story about my workplace in the summer that I absolutely just detest. Anyways, so Tucker says that about, well, an ungodly amount of money, $100 billion, is spent on training every year. Now, this applies directly to me. I have definitely received training. In fact, every year that I've gone back to this place, I have received about 4 to 5 hours of training. There's this system they have called Safety Net or Security Net or something, and it's essentially this program where you get walked through different procedures, and there's a topic for every month. There's fire safety, using your proper like equipment for the proper job, stuff like that. And you'll be walked through this little scenario or these little factoids, and then you'll be walked through a scenario and you'll be asked to answer questions. The entire first day is that. Literally 5 hours in a booth wearing earplugs and glasses on a computer, and you're just like, oh god, I just want to sleep, because it's a dark booth, and the general mood of the plan is kind of like but training is generally the process of transmitting and receiving information related to solving a problem or doing a job better. It's exactly what I went through for 5 hours that day. In fact, often the most difficult thing for employers when it comes to training is actually realizing the need for training. I think it's good in the case of my employer, because they pretty much require it of all new hires just to go in and do that. So I think they have that down pat. I think that's a good one right there. Now there's a bunch of different ways you could throw down training for an employee or a new hire. You usually have like a training director or a training committee come up with a set of procedures or a set of training methods so that they can apply it to the company. But there are several methods. There's lecture, videotape, computer aided instruction, and there's also a survey. You could hand out a survey and ask, you could survey the participants of a particular training program and management, and you could see what works, what doesn't. Training is job specific with a focused outcome on performing the job or the organizational role better. I'd say that serves a good function. I felt like I knew a lot more about safety and proper technique when it comes to just working in an area where hard labor happened. Like, not hard labor. I felt that it was good that I knew more about working in an area where hazards could happen and chemical spills could happen and all this other stuff could happen. Yeah, I know, it's a can making plant. How are you gonna, right? It's crazy. So Tucker says that training is a cyclical process that involves at least 4 steps. Analyzing needs, designing and developing a system or training materials, stuff like that. Delivering training and development programs, assistance, or counseling. And then evaluating the results, and then conducting a follow-up. Again, like I said earlier, the problem that most companies have is realizing the need for training. But a lot of companies also think that step 3 is the only method of training, but all 4 of them are very important. So I guess in general, I went into work first day, and I just sat there for 5 hours on a computer learning all about fire safety and equipment usage and who to report to and how to do my job better, essentially, so that I would become less of a liability on the floor and more of a team player.